HBL fans, followers, and everybody who has kind of supported us throughout this journey. I think I owe you guys an apology. Um, when I created this league, my intentions of it and goals and expectations were high above the bar in which I wanted to not necessarily be at, because I wanted to be at a high level, but they were a lot more than what I could handle myself. When we started in season one, When I started in season one, we had 6 teams. There were 4 of us playing, kind of just 2 on each team, but with each other that we haven't played with. The one thing that I learned from that is it grew. We got views. I think our biggest view on TikTok, which is where we primarily posted and only posted at the time, was 18,000 views, which was kind of absurd for a small town wiffle ball league that didn't really have much going for them. That was when I knew that I wanted to create something bigger. We didn't finish the season, we didn't end up playing a World Series, we didn't end up having a champion. That's when season 2 came in, and I had bigger plans. I expanded the league from 6 teams to 9, kept the original 6, added 3 more, and then I added some of my friends to the teams in which that, I thought could be good. Like, I thought that was a number. Unfortunately though, despite having the World Series that year and despite finishing a season, it wasn't quite what I expected. We switched over, we went from TikTok and now we had an Instagram. But towards the end of the season, we kind of ran out of time before the winter happened, and I eventually just cut it short. I simulated this rest of the season, which was only the last 2 or 3 slates, in which we didn't play games. And I don't want to necessarily say it's my fault. Obviously, yes, people couldn't come, people couldn't make it, and people couldn't show up. That's not necessarily my fault, but it's the fact that my fault for scheduling and also kind of putting all of them close together. That's where my part comes in, and I kind of lied to you guys in the sense of this actually happened, we just didn't have footage. I figured it would be best to be open and honest rather than kind of hiding it. So even though we had a champion, the Diamondbacks, that year, I wanted something a lot bigger. I knew I wanted to do YouTube, as you can see on the TV back behind us, but I also wanted to expand. I had a lot of interest in the league. There were, I want to say, about 27 or 28 guys who were very interested in the league, all from across our region in New York. And I was like, dang, like, we might actually be able to make something out of this. So I added 4 more teams, not knowing that it was going to be a hassle. We did the draft, and that was kind of popular. That was the first video I posted on the YouTube channel. But unfortunately, the first game of the season, not many people could show up from those teams. And that's where it kind of hit me like that. We might not be able to play the season. I knew scheduling was going to be hard. I know people are busy during the summer. That's typically when people are the busiest, especially with school going on, us being in high school, me being a senior in season 3. It kind of just, it didn't really make sense to strive to have people come up if they couldn't. Yes, you saw, we got all the way up to about slate 4. There's still more videos that will be posted. And as you can see, I'm not home right now. I'm actually at college, so it's kind of hard for me to do anything in terms of wiffle ball in New York, and I'm in Illinois. So that's the one tough part about this. Season 3 did start out very good. We had some turnouts, which I enjoyed. There were more than 4 people that showed up for each team, which was great. Even if they were on the team, if they weren't, they subbed, and that's great. That's all I asked for. But once the summer kept going along and I scheduled games, it was either a mix of everybody got tired, nobody wanted to play, too cold, too hot, etc., this, that. Everybody just didn't really seem to mesh well with the wiffle ball culture, and that's where my doubts came in, and that's why you haven't seen many videos. So now that you're seeing this, I've decided to make some changes going forward for not only season 3, I know mid-season change, that's a little hard, and season 4. So, without further ado, here is the new Hoodball League. So, as you guys know, Hoodball League was consisted of 14 teams that are on the screen right now. And we have decided that we were ultimately going to cut them down to 8. We're getting rid of the Diamondbacks, the Braves, the Guardians. We are getting rid of the Twins, the Brewers, and last but not least, we are getting rid of the Mariners. So that's kind of where my mind has led to. I've had enough time out here to think about what exactly I wanted to do and kind of what would make the most sense for the league going forward, especially that we don't have many guys anymore, as you can see. Here is the full list of the Season 3 HBL draft order. So, as you can see, there were 22 picks. The only ones still remaining with us are Drake Webster, Matthew King, Ryan Peabody for the most part that I know of, Luke Delnicki, Dream Johnson, and Sean Rudolph and Braden Umverzat. That's a lot of people that never showed up and committed to something that they weren't able to. And I'm not blaming them. Everybody's busy. Everybody's got their own things going on, by all means. I'm not mad at them. I just over-prepared myself and over-planned this whole thing based on the expectations that people would show up. So that's my fault, and it's not theirs. We have plenty of guys that will be on the remaining 8 teams. And I know what you can see is that I was on most of them. I was on the Diamondbacks, I was on the Brewers, I was on those are the only 2 teams that I was on that I got rid of. There might be a third, but I doubt it. As of right now, I'm only on 4. So the reasoning behind that, I'd rather have not necessarily leadership, because obviously I'm the founder of the league. I know what I'm doing in the sense that I've played wiffle ball. We've been to MLW Wiffle in the Mitten. I think me being on 4 teams, yes, it kind of gets annoying for some people because they're like, oh, I have to face you all the time. I'm doing it so that way if no one shows up, at least there will be someone on the team, as well as for those that don't really necessarily know what they're doing on their own, I can be there, I can guide them. So that way in season 4, here's another change, I will only be on 2 teams. I will only be on the Marlins and I will only be on the Blue Jays, 1 on each side of the American League and the National League. I've done that so that way, I can not only obviously commit to 1 team on each side or commit to 2 teams in a sense, but also that way no one has to face me as much, but also I guess to get more optimal results, but also so everybody has fun, because I've gotten complaints that it's not fun to pitch against me or hit against me. So that's another way I went wrong. Another thing that we're doing in Slate 4 is we are going to be completely rebranding. So the only reason why we did MLB teams to start was just because we weren't planning on it to blow up as much as it did on TikTok to start. I kind of just wanted to have teams where, they were easy to recognize. They're just made after MLB teams. There's nothing but behind them. I didn't create them. I just, obviously, copyright, I didn't use them for my own good. I didn't use them to, not necessarily promote, clothing or buying stuff. I used it simply because not only I love baseball, but also it was the easiest at the time and I couldn't really think of anything to do. Now that I have the tools I have to create logos and branding and t-shirts, that is something I'm going to work on in season 4, just so it doesn't keep going as long as it has with MLB teams. So now that those are out of the way, I have some players that are going to be relocated off the teams that were, in a sense, booted from the league. So that list includes, and you'll see it on the screen, Jason Pichetti, John Lynch, Anthony and Daniel Roman, Connor Julian, so he's on another team, just because also he's not necessarily a co-founder, but he's a co-manager. He helps me out with a lot of stuff. He's most of the time umpire. Jeremy Schaefer is on 2 teams, as you'll see, so he will stay on 2 teams as well, because he is the manager of the Royals and he is co-managing the Phillies with me, but also because he's done a lot of behind-the-scenes work for me, so I appreciate him for that. We're the 3 main guys in this operation. Obviously, I'm the founder. I run everything behind the camera. I run everything editing-wise, kind of just behind the scenes, and I run every idea I have through them. I haven't got a hold of them because of the time difference, unfortunately. Even though it's only an hour, they're currently busy, so I'm kind of doing my own operation right now. I'll run it through them. We'll see how it goes. Nolan Umverzat, Braden Umverzat, Drake Webster, Aaron Mantello. He's also on a team. He's on the Angels and the Blue Jays. I am going to add him to 1 team just so for rides purposes. So for those younger kids that are 16 and don't have a license that want to play, that are also I hang out in a big group with them. They hang out in that group with us. They want to play. Aaron can bring them up. That way I don't have to drive. Sorry, I'm just trying to click it so that I can see the 30 minutes down there just to pick them up, to bring them back, and end up having to do the same thing. Aaron will play. That way he's not bored out of his mind when he brings them. Angelo Galafaro and Caleb Remington. So those are the names that are going to be relocated. And they will be on different teams starting in Season 3. The remaining games of Season 3, and I'll explain how that's going to work in a minute. But just so everything can go quick. I know we've been through 5 slates, and this is where my explanation comes in. So here's how it's going to work for Season 3. The remaining of the season, we're going to do 2 more slates We're going to do 2 more slates. We'll have an all-star game. We'll have, home run derby, stuff like that, because I am going home for Thanksgiving. I am going home for 3 weeks in December, so we'll do the games then. That way we can get it out of the way. World Series can be over the break that I have in between, not February, but March break, so I'll come home for that. We'll be able to play those games. That way, in the summer, when I come home in May, we can start a very new chapter, Season 4. I'll explain that. I'll have everything posted on there as far as what will happen going into Season 4. It's me. So, you'll see it on the screen. This is what it's going to be like for Slate 3. This is what the schedules are going to be. At the time you're seeing this, I've had everything sorted out. Here are the schedules. So this is what it's going to look like for Slate 6 and 7. No pun intended. But this is how it's going to be. For those that you may see, oh shoot, there are multiple games or multiple teams that haven't played each other. We're going to keep it the way it is. These are the games you'll see. These are the teams that will play. If they haven't, great. But I'm moving everything up. And even if they play twice just to catch up, there you go. That's all I need. That's all you guys needed to see. So that'll be the remaining schedule for Slate 6 and 7 for Season 3. Postseason bracket will come out. It will still end up being the 4 on each side, because fortunately I can't change that aspect of it. So everybody gets a playoff berth. It's now just a matter of seeding. And as far as team goes, here's the teams. These are going to be the teams going forward for the rest of Season 3. If there's trades, quote-unquote signings, that go in the off-season, you will see that on Instagram. You will see that on TikTok as the videos will be posted. And that's kind of all I really got in terms of trying to make this thing better. So I hope this goes a long way. I still have a few more things to talk about, but that's how that's going to be run. You'll see the dates, going forward. You'll see everything, every video that I still have posted, even if the leagues, or even if the teams aren't in the league, as well as, the ones that still are in the league. You'll see everything that I have videos of. And then once, Slate 5 finishes and stuff like that, we'll go right into it. So, another big announcement that we have is that in Season 4, by the time that everything's all settled, all the rebranding goes, we will have a new field. I'm excited about it. Thank you to our sponsor, Boston Carpet and Tile. We have a new field behind their store. So it's an acre property. Not that necessarily matters. There will be a field back there, so I will work on it, spring break when I'm back home. We'll get everything for the fence. That way in the summer, we'll have a place to play in the shade. And no one will have to complain. There will be, it'll look nice, and we'll try and make it what we can. So that's another big announcement. And then just trying to look and see. Sorry, you're going to see the TV for a minute. Everything, I think that's really it. So that's kind of a recap of, my apology to you guys, how we're going to make this work and what it's going to be. So, the next videos you see will be the remainder of what I had left from Slate 5, Slate 4, whatever slate we were in for Season 3. Everything will be on Instagram. I'll try my best. I'm going to be at a hiatus for a little bit because obviously, I don't really have much to post other than the videos that I had. So I'll do my best to get you guys regularly scheduled videos once everything comes back, and then hopefully during the next season you'll see everything details wise, and hopefully we'll finish the season during the summer. So if you guys like this one, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below your thoughts. I would like to know. Once again, I apologize for all the inconveniences in terms of uploading and being hiatus for 3+ months at a time, because honestly, to me, it sucks. I love doing this. I just want to do it for everyone, and it's kind of hard to do it when you don't have anything that really goes. So that's all I got. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next wiffle ball video. Peace out, guys.